What if I told you that without anyone saying a single word, you can understand what is going on in their mind? What if you could catch someone's lie, their truth, and their intentions, just by observing them? It sounds strange, but the truth is, this is a skill that can be learned. Every day we meet people, talk to them, and trust them. But the truth is, every person is not what they appear to be. Some people hide their real feelings. Some hide their intentions. And some hide their true face. In today's audiobook, we will learn the art of observation, through which you can understand people just by watching them. Chapter 1. What is observation power? Observation does not mean simply looking. It means looking carefully, understanding, and catching those small details that most people completely ignore. All of us see hundreds of things every day. We meet people. We talk to them. But the truth is, we truly notice very few of those things. Most people just listen. They pay attention to words. They take whatever the other person is saying as the truth. But master observers do something different. They don't just listen, they notice. They observe how a person is speaking, whether their voice carries confidence or hesitation, whether their eyes are meeting yours or avoiding them, because often the truth is hidden not in words, but in signals. Just think, if someone keeps looking away while talking to you, or is moving their hands without reason, this cannot simply be a random habit. It is a signal of the feelings running inside them. The body never lies. When a person is uncomfortable, their body definitely reacts. Their body becomes stiff. Their shoulders tighten. Or they keep changing their position. These are all signs that something is not right inside. But observation is not limited only to body language. It is a mindset, a habit that gives you deeper understanding in every situation. A master observer, upon entering a room, immediately scans the environment. Who is confident, who is nervous, who is giving a fake smile, and who is genuinely happy. All of this becomes understandable without anyone saying a word. And this is the skill that sets you apart from everyone else. Because where others are living on the surface, you are looking into the depth. Observation teaches you that behind every action there is a reason. Behind every behavior there is a hidden emotion. And if you look carefully, every person reveals their own story. You just need to not just hear them, but understand them. But this skill does not come in one day. You have to train your mind for it. Gradually you start paying attention to small things, people's expressions, their way of speaking, their energy. And then one day comes when no matter how much someone tries to hide something, you still understand what they are feeling. That is the real power of observation. Chapter 2. Body language secrets. Our body never lies. Words can lie. The voice can change. But the body always tells the truth. When words and body language don't match each other, which one should you trust? Always the body. Because truth is often hidden not in words, but in signals. Suppose someone says to you, "I am perfectly fine," but their shoulders are drooping, their eyes are avoiding contact, and there is no energy in their voice. What is the truth? They are not fine. That is the game of body language. Now let us talk about some common signals that every person shows unknowingly. The first, crossed arms. When someone folds their hands in front of their chest, it is not simply a comfortable position. It is a defensive signal. It shows that they are mentally closed or protecting themselves in the situation. The second signal, avoiding eye contact. If a person keeps looking away while talking to you, there are two possible meanings. Either they are uncomfortable or they are hiding something. But remember, avoiding eye contact is not always a lie. Sometimes it can be nervousness. So focus not on a single signal but on patterns. The third and very powerful signal, the fake smile. A genuine smile does not come only from the lips. It shows in the eyes too. When someone is genuinely happy, their eyes squint slightly. The face relaxes. But in a fake smile, only the lips move. The eyes remain completely the same. And this difference shows you the truth. The most special thing about body language is that it is unconscious. People can control their words, but not their body signals completely. And this is exactly where an observer gets an advantage. When you start looking carefully, you begin to notice small changes, like someone suddenly becoming restless, repeatedly touching their hands, or changing their position. These are all signs that something is happening inside. But the real skill is not seeing the signals, it is understanding them. Behind every gesture there is an emotion. Behind every movement there is a reason. And when you learn to connect these two, people reveal everything without saying a word. You just need to look carefully, understand the patterns, and gradually you will feel that every person is revealing their own truth. You just need to pay attention. Chapter 3. Lie Detection Tricks. Catching a lie is not just a skill, it is an art. And this art begins with a simple concept: baseline. Baseline means understanding a person's normal behavior. How do they usually speak? How do they react? What is their body language like? Because until you know they're normal, you cannot catch the change. Most people make this mistake. They try to directly catch a lie without understanding what the other person is actually like. But a master observer first observes, then concludes. Now think, if a person normally speaks very confidently, looks directly into eyes, speaks clearly, but suddenly they start hesitating, start looking away, or start getting confused in their words, this is a signal that something has changed. And this very change can be the first sign of a lie. Now let us talk about some common lie detection signals. The first signal, suddenly taking a pause. When a person speaks the truth, the flow is natural. But when they lie, they have to think, build a story. And in that very process, they stop in between, take pauses, search for words. This hesitation is a big signal. The second signal, giving unnecessary details. This is a little tricky because when people lie, they add extra details to make their story believable. Details that are not even necessary, like giving a very long and complex answer to a simple question. This is often overcompensation. The third signal, repeatedly changing the subject. When a person is uncomfortable or lying, they try to shift the topic so that attention moves away from them. They will not give a direct answer to the question. They will deflect it or take it in another direction. And if you observe carefully, this pattern repeats again and again. But always remember, one signal is never proof. You have to look at patterns. You have to connect multiple signals. Only then can you reach the right conclusion. Because every person is different. Some people are naturally nervous. Some people speak a lot. So understanding context is very important. Lie detection is not a guessing game. It is a combination of observation, patience, and understanding. And the most important thing, a lie is never perfect. There are always small cracks in it. In behavior, in tone, in body language. You just need to notice those cracks. Because when you learn to look carefully, no matter how hard someone tries, the truth cannot stay hidden. Chapter 4. Dark Psychology Basics. Dark psychology sounds frightening, like something mysterious and dangerous. But the truth is, it is simply the dark side of human behavior. Every person has two sides, one that they show the world, and one that they hide. Dark psychology is the art of understanding that hidden part. It teaches us how people manipulate, how they influence subtly, and how they hide their real intentions. Now the question is, why do people do this? Because every person wants something. Respect, attention, control, or sometimes simply their own advantage. And to get these things, some people don't choose the straight path. They look for shortcuts, they play mind games. Like making someone feel guilt so they agree with you. Or triggering someone's insecurities so you can control them. These are all examples of dark psychology. But here is an important point. This knowledge can be dangerous as well as powerful. It depends on how you use it. If you use it only to manipulate others, it will give you temporary control, but in the long term it will destroy relationships. But if you use it to understand and protect yourself, it gives you an advantage. An awareness that very few people possess. You gradually start noticing who is genuine and who is just putting on a show. who truly cares for you and who is just using you. And most importantly, who is playing with your emotions. Because manipulation is not always obvious. It is subtle. It gradually influences your decisions. It makes you feel as if the choice is yours, but in reality, control is in someone else's hands. And this is exactly why understanding dark psychology is necessary, so that you are not blind, so that you can see every situation clearly. When you understand how people think, how they react, and how they manipulate, no one can easily fool you. You judge them not by their words, but by their intentions. You understand them not by their statements, but by their patterns. And this skill makes you emotionally strong. Because in this world, the greatest power is not knowledge, it is awareness. And when you have awareness, you don't just live, you live with understanding. Chapter 5. People reading techniques. Every person follows certain patterns. The way they speak, the way they react, the way they think. None of this is random. These are patterns. And if you learn to recognize these patterns, you can understand anyone's emotions and thoughts without them saying a single word. People reading is not magic. It is a combination of observation and pattern recognition. Now the question is, how do you recognize these patterns? The very first step is to observe, but not at the surface level, at the deep level. You need to watch how a person behaves in different situations. Like, which topics make them uncomfortable? When you mention a particular subject, do they suddenly go quiet? Or do they try to change the subject? If yes, this is a strong signal that they have some emotional connection to that topic. The second pattern, what things do they react to more than normal? Every person overreacts to certain things. Sometimes they become overly excited or unnecessarily defensive. And these very reactions reveal their priorities and insecurities. Because where the emotion is strong, the reaction is intense. The third pattern, when does their energy shift? Energy is the most subtle signal, but also the most powerful. Watch carefully. Do they become energetic with some people and suddenly quiet with others? Does their voice become lively on certain topics and dull on others? These shifts reveal their interests, comfort levels, and hidden emotions. But the real skill is not seeing these signals separately, it is connecting them. When you combine multiple patterns, a clear picture forms of that person's thinking, their personality, and their intentions. And gradually you realize that people reveal themselves through their habits. You just need to pay attention. But remember, people reading is not judgment. It is understanding. You observe not to label someone, but to understand them better. Because behind every behavior there is a reason. Behind every reaction there is a story. And when you observe with this mindset, you begin to understand not just people, but their entire world. And this ability is what transforms you from an ordinary person into a true observer. Chapter 6. How to recognize fake people. Every person is not what they appear to be. Some people only show one face and are something completely different inside. These are what we call fake people. Fake people always try to impress with words. They will say grand things. They will make you feel good. They will praise you, but their actions never match. And this is the biggest signal, because truth is always visible not in words but in actions. Now let us talk about some clear signs that reveal fake people. The first sign, more promises, less action. Fake people make promises very easily. I am always with you. You can trust me. But when the time comes, they are nowhere to be found. There is a gap between their words and their actions, and this gap reveals their truth. The second sign, one thing in front of you, something else behind. Fake people will be very nice to your face. They will show support and care. But the moment you turn away, their behavior changes. They discuss your private conversations with others or use them against you. This reveals their double personality. The third sign, behavior changes based on need. Fake people change according to situations. When they need something from you, they become very close and very friendly. But the moment their work is done, they become distant or behave completely differently. Their consistency depends on the situation, and this is exactly what makes them fake. Now, an important point. Genuine people are simple. They don't try to over-impress. They don't repeatedly try to prove themselves. Their words and actions naturally match. And the biggest thing, they are consistent. They remain mostly the same in every situation. No fake sweetness, no sudden attitude change. And this consistency builds trust. But fake people are not consistent. Their behavior changes according to people. It changes according to situations. And if you observe carefully, these patterns repeat again and again. You just need to pay attention to them. Because recognizing fake people is not judging them, it is protecting yourself. So that you don't trust the wrong people and invest your energy in the right ones. Because the biggest mistake in life is not that you trusted someone. It is that you trusted the wrong person. Chapter 7. Daily Life Psychological Hacks. Observation is not a skill you learn in one day. It is a habit that you develop little by little every day. And the good thing is, you can improve it right in your daily life. You don't need any special place or special training. You just need to pay a little more attention. The first hack: observe people in public places. When you go out to a cafe, a bus stop, or a market, don't just get lost in your own work. Look around a little. How do people sit? How do they talk? Whose face shows confidence and who looks nervous? This is a simple exercise, but it slowly sharpens your observation power. The second hack: in conversations, don't just listen, notice. When someone is talking to you, don't just focus on their words. Pay attention to their tone. Pay attention to their speed. Notice their body language. Are they talking quickly? Do they seem hesitant? Are their gestures matching their words? These small things reveal a great deal. The third hack: combine body language and tone together. Because a single signal alone is not always clear. But when you look at multiple signals together, the picture becomes clear. Like if someone is speaking in a slow voice and their body is also closed, they might be uncomfortable. But if their voice is confident and their body is open, they are feeling comfortable and honest. Gradually, your mind will start catching these patterns automatically. And that is real progress. But remember, consistency is most essential. If you keep observing a little every day, your awareness will naturally keep growing. You will start noticing what was never visible before. You will start understanding what was once confusing. And slowly you will start understanding not just people, but situations better too. Because observation is not just a skill. It is a superpower. And when it is developed, you stay one step ahead everywhere. The secret to becoming a master observer is not a shortcut. It is a habit. The more you observe, the more you understand. And a time will come when people say something, but you will understand what they are truly feeling. Subscribe to One Book.